of the difficult challenges that I had to grapple with during my grad studies was the fact that, during Christmas, during New Year, during my Orthodox Easter, I still had to go to the lab and work 3-4 hours. But I would say that it was mostly a challenge for the first year or two. I think after that I got accustomed. I realized that, I had to do it. So I essentially did it very welcomely, not grudgingly. In terms of, I think this probably was my biggest challenge. I was able to, other than this, I was able to handle, the hard work. I had no issues starting my day at 8, finishing at midnight. So,
okay. I remember one time you told me that you talk about 18 graduate courses during your grad study, and since now are complaining about 4 or 5 courses.
My background was in civil engineering, so I took a lot of courses in environmental. I took courses in chemical engineering, and I took courses in environmental microbiology. I think in total, yes, I took somewhere around maybe either 14 or 16 graduate courses during my 4-year stay. And I'm happy to say that I did my master's and PhD combined in 4 years. And this is not a testimony to my intelligence or anything. It's simply a testimony to my hard work.
4 years master
4
and
years
PhD.
both, master's and PhD.
Okay, so this is, I would say it's a record. We need to look at it. Maybe we add it to...
I don't know.
Record.
No, I don't think it's
4 years. It's like
no, I don't think it's a it's a record, but I think it's simply the nature of the project that I was working on. I had funding for about longer than 4 years. Money wasn't an issue, so I basically decided to wrap up my master's very quickly in about 1.5 years, and then I moved on towards my PhD.
Okay, awesome. So what about the good memories during your grad? I think there are a lot, but if you pick 1 or 2 good.
Okay, as I mentioned, my PhD supervisor was very generous when it comes to money. So I recall one summer, I think it was about 1.5 years after I started, I told him, Makram, I want to go back to Sudan and I don't have the money. He said, okay, no problem. So he assigned me and another student to do one experiment that lasted about 36 hours, and he paid me at the time, and I'm talking about 87. He paid me for that 36 hours about $2,500, which was plenty for me to go back home. So the joy that I had finishing the experiment, going to my room, taking a shower, taking the bus to the airport was immense. I was really looking forward to seeing my family, having been away from them for about 18 months. So that, I would say, is the epic, joyous moment in my PhD, in my graduate studies.
That's really was sweet, fam. That is, professor or supervisor can understand the situation of his students and always stay there to support. And I can admit you are one of those professors who are always supporting your graduate students. And during your graduate study, because I remember when we were students with you always encourage us to work in collaboration with other students, to get engaged with other experience. You need to know more than your experiment. Was that the case during your study?
Absolutely. I did my master's on a PhD on a large project that dealt with the anaerobic treatment of hazardous contaminants, particularly coal gasifier effluents. And our team was about 3 PhD students, and we had about 6 master students that worked on them. So it was definitely a collaborative team effort. Each one of us tackled a small aspect of the problem. We used to have regular weekly group meetings. So the things that I implemented at Western weren't of my own invention. These are things that I had experienced before. And I think there was good rapport between the team members. And I think ultimately we ended up delivering an excellent project. We were not constrained financially in terms of the research, which was a great thing. So I mean, neither us nor our supervisor had to worry about money. So,
Yeah. That's I can admit that that was something really important for all of us to grow and to know other aspects of other research projects as well. But during our graduate study, typically we need the support not only from the supervisor but from the family. And this is a big thing to say thank you to all of our families that is supporting us during our graduate study. But there is always a friend aside from the research domain or friend of yours that is who was always in supporting you, or did you have that in your life?
yes, actually, my friend, we're still in touch today. His name is Radis Vidic. He is a professor at the University of Pittsburgh. We used to play tennis together. He was my best friend. We worked together very long hours. We had fun together. So I think he was my closest friend at Illinois. But I have to also give a lot of credit to my mother because she would write me a letter weekly. I would go and pick up the letter from our mailbox every week, and I find the letter that is about 6-7 pages telling me what is happening in her life, in my dad's life, in my brother's and sister's life. So at that time there was no social media, so this was the mechanism that kept me in touch with my family, and that also gave me a lot of support because sometimes you go through down times. Fortunately, we didn't have the mental issues that kids have these days, but obviously the family support was instrumental. And I think, as I mentioned, I had a good circle of friends and one very close friend.
So once you finished your PhD, did you go directly to the academia or you work in the industry?
Once I finished my PhD, I took a position of an assistant professor at King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals in Saudi Arabia, in Dhahran, which was quite a change. I stayed there about 5 years, and I decided to come back to North America. So I didn't go to industry. But when I came back from King Fahd University, I worked in industry for 5 years before joining Western.